Righto guys, well here's my jerseys. Look, to be fair, I've given away most of my jerseys, but I've got about 4 or 5 here that are pretty special to me, so I'll get them out and we'll have a good look through them. One of the most important ones I probably had, Jim, was my Targo one. I managed to get given this one when I left after my last season, and they were really cool, and they put all my record for Otago on the front, which was really nice. I was lucky to be able to go down to Dunedin and do what I did. I actually started in South Canterbury. I took a chance and went down to Dunedin, and to play 80-odd games, or 81 games for Otago was something I never thought I'd ever do, particularly from a small town of Temuka where I lived. And it was a pretty proud province, and my grandmother lived there, and my dad grew up there, so it was a very cool thing to be able to do.
Brendan Laney, he's got 2, he's got 3.
And to play with a guy as good as Goldie was just pretty amazing. And we tended to seem to swap positions quite a bit. If Goldie wanted to play 14, I'd go to fullback, and if he wanted to play 15, I'd go to the wing. Romy Ropati, he came down and made Otago home, and was one of our best players. Yeah, he did some crazy stuff down there with karate kicks and everything, and I remember one time he did it and pulled a hamstring, for God's sake. So little things like that you remember, but some guys who went on to be All Black greats, fantastic.
42 tries, 42 chainsaws. Where did the chainsaw come from?
It was a bet by Reuben Parkinson, who played centre for us, and he always said to me, "Oh, you be a chainsaw and stand there, and I'll be a log, and you chop me down," and all this sort of carry on. I said, "I'm never going to do that." But it worked out that there was mayoral elections at the time in Dunedin, and on the sideline they had Suki for mayor and another candidate for mayor, and then there was Chainsaw for mayor. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, that's a bit weird. And then later on that night, there was a whole lot of Scarfies in the corner, and they were calling me Chainsaw. I said, "Why you call me Chainsaw?" And Reuben heard this. He said, "Why you call me Chainsaw?" He says, "Because you cut through backlines." I went, oh.
Brendan Laney, eh? Chainsaw. And the man is turning into a Carisbrook legend.
So it stuck, and then it followed me all around the world. When I went to Edinburgh, I got off the plane in Edinburgh, and one of the reporters even said to me, "G'day Chainsaw, how you going?" Before I went to Scotland, Tony Gilbert was my coach, obviously, at Kaikrai as well. Tony was pretty influential in my career, and he came up to me at the club and presented me with an All Black jersey. It was the white that they wore when they played Scotland. I swore that I'd never ever wear one or buy one or anything unless I actually earned it. But Tony gave that to me, and he went out of his way to do it, and he said some pretty nice things about me in front of a lot of people, so I could not accept it, and yeah, that was quite a cool one, to be fair.
And there Brendan Laney, who's the only new cap on the field, a big fella who comes from Otago, and today will be playing against 1 or 2 of his old pals.
My first test was, I had a really crazy week. In the space of 5 days, I played the All Blacks twice, which I still can't get my head around, to be fair. I played Tuesday against the All Blacks for Scotland A, and then I got named on the Wednesday to play against them on the Saturday in the test. I was playing against guys that I'd basically played with 2 weeks before in the NPC final. I knew all of them, and I didn't know the 21 guys I was standing beside here, really. Was quite a bizarre thing. The big one was the haka, to be fair, Jim, and I'm standing in front of Jonah, and I was absolutely crapping myself, to be fair. It was just the aura, the bigness of the All Blacks, and the black jersey, and something I aspired to when I was a kid. I honestly didn't think I'd get anywhere near Test rugby, and to be able to do it from my adopted country in Scotland was pretty special. My grandmother was born in a place called Lismahago, and yeah, we're very deep Scottish heritage on my mum's side of the family. So to be able to play for Scotland against the All Blacks was really amazing. And hopefully I went out and gave it my best. So yeah, hopefully I did a good enough job to make people proud of me. So I ended up playing about 97 games for Edinburgh, and I was lucky that Toddy Blackadder was there at the same time, Marty Leslie. So we had some good Kiwi guys there as well. We ended up making the semi-finals of the European Cup for the first time ever. We beat Toulouse, who scored the last try, and they went on to win it. So we were pretty pumped that day.
Laney wants to finish this one off in style. Laney with the corner, the hand is raised.
The 6 years we had there were just magnificent. We had a ball. I'd probably go back tomorrow if it wasn't for the weather. Because Jesus, it's cold. My last one, we played Italy in 04, and to get to my last Test match, and in fairness, I didn't realise it was going to be my last Test, but for some reason I just hung on to this one. Played 20 Test matches, which was 20 more than I thought I'd ever play, and I never thought I'd get to do this. And sit in front of you and talk about my Test jerseys, Jim, say. It's pretty special, and I thought, you know, this is something I wanted to hang on to. Well, that's my jerseys, my Test jerseys. I hope you got as much enjoyment hearing the stories as I did wearing them. So, yeah, cheers, thank you.